welcome to the Headache Doctor podcast. This is episode 9. I'm Dr. Taves, and I am here to empower everyone with headaches and migraines to break free from a life of fear and dependence and thrive in everything they do. Now, this is kind of a cool episode because what I'm going to do is tell you a few patient stories. When I talk about empowering people with headaches and migraines, it really is meaningful, and that word empower is something that I thought long and hard about. I wanted to, when I work with a patient, I want them to feel that they have control of their life, that they're not dependent on the medication, or really any form of treatment, but specifically the medication, because so many people come to me and they're motivated to get off of meds because they know it's not addressing the underlying problem, and they haven't had the answer for the underlying problem. They don't know what that is, but their gut tells them, literally their gut might be telling them because their liver or their kidneys are struggling to digest and break down these medications. But basically they're motivated to find a better solution. And so the patients that have seen me, I mean, it's a lot of these people have a life-changing experience, and I want to share some of these stories, not to necessarily promote anything about me but it's more I want to provide you with hope that there is someone out there like you that has gone through this process and has seen improvement, that has found benefit in it. One of the biggest struggles I think a lot of people with headaches and migraines have is that they get kind of beat up. They're over-promised, under-delivered. There's so many different things, even on the market. I mean, if you look on Amazon or Google, some sort of like headache or migraine type device, something that's a quick fix, another pill, and whatever it may be. And not to say that those things are bad, but there's a lot of things out there that will promise to be your next solution. And here at Novera, I try hard to promise the appropriate expectations to bring my patients along in an appropriate way, so that I am not over-promising and under-delivering, because that's what I feel a lot of what's happening in the market. So through these stories, I want you to, again, that word empowered, I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel encouraged that there is someone out there who is maybe in your same situation, was able to overcome it, and is living life now not dependent on medication or losing time with family or friends because they're living in this fog of when is my next migraine going to hit. And so treating migraines is not easy. Treating headaches is not easy. They come in all different shapes and sizes, but I try very hard to do what I can to get people out of that migraine fog, the state of not knowing when it's going to hit, being fearful of going out with friends or family, and especially now during this pandemic, COVID-19, it keeps us all in our houses, and we need to take advantage of all that life has to offer, and especially now not have migraines interrupt. So without further ado, let's talk first. And just so you know, these patients have given us permission, and they've actually written their stories down in a patient testimony book. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll kind of show you it here, but they have offered their stories, and these are people that we've gotten to know well, and we spend a lot of time with, helping them through this process. And so we get excited when they find the relief they were looking for. And so they've written down their stories for us. And so I'm just going to share a lot of what they've written down. I might add in a few minor details, but most of this is things that they've shared themselves. And so it's not me breaking HIPAA or anything like that. And these people are so excited to share their stories, and they want to encourage you. And so I'm going to use this platform to share their story as well. And again, just to go back to, this is not me boasting or promoting myself in any way. I like to position myself as the guide, just facilitating and assisting you through this process. And so these people are the heroes. They're the ones that have found the what they were searching for at the end of their journey. So here is Kayla. Kayla is 32 years old. She was diagnosed with migraines at the tender age of 10. For the last 22 years, she was fighting through pain and perhaps even worse, the fear of pain. We talk about that, not feeling hopeful, not having that sort of empowerment that I want to provide you. I was muddling through one or more migraines every week or so until Novera came into my life. So until she found us here at Novera. So one or more migraines a week. I had tried just about everything, avoiding my triggers, so many triggers, changing my diet, deep tissue massage, chiropractic, etc., etc. I was at my wit's end and descending into depression, thinking there was no natural solution for my migraine. So again, this is what we hear often, is people want something that is natural, something that's going to facilitate healing in their body, not just mask the pain, and that's what we're trying to provide. She says, I drove 2 hours twice a week from Boulder to Colorado Springs to receive treatment, and it was worth it. That's another important thing I want to hit on, is the process that it takes for a lot of these people is not easy. It's not that take a pill and it's not convenient. It takes a lot of work and energy. She's driving from Boulder, which is a couple hours away, twice a week. And she says it was worth it. I've been migraine free for 3 months. So going from one or more migraines a week to being migraine free for 3 months. And she says, I feel extremely fortunate to have found Novera. So she's on the other end.
Thank you for calling Novera Headache Center. This is Tila. How can I help you? Oh, good. Thank you. How are you doing, Laura? And you said you were wanting to move it to tomorrow? Yeah, I can do 4:30 tomorrow. Sounds good. I have moved through, got you down for 4:30 tomorrow, and I think that should do it. Is there anything else I can help you with? Yeah, you're welcome. See you tomorrow. You too. Bye.
Other end. On the other end. So she's on the other end. Novera. So she's on the other end. Is he ready?
I never stopped it because I was like, oh, I gotta get to the phone.
Okay, she's on the other end of treatment, and she's hopeful, feeling excited about life without migraines. Let's jump to another patient who she did not write her name on our little patient testimonial book, so I won't share her name. But I will read what she says. She says, I've experienced migraine headaches since at least my early 20s. I'm now 58, so that's a long time. Initially, these were thought to be hormone headaches or exertion headaches, brought on by hormonal fluctuations or stress of long-distance running. Early on, I could treat these with my own cocktail of ibuprofen and or Tylenol. So a few things here. In Colorado, there are a lot of people that are healthy, fit, who care about their health, and their migraines are the one thing they can't get rid of. And this is true for this patient. And she says that initially the ibuprofen, the Tylenol seemed to kick it. She says, however, in my 40s, these headaches became difficult to manage, and I went on Frovatriptan, which at the time cost a whopping $30 per pill. So even the medication she was taking was not, it wasn't free, it wasn't it wasn't covered completely by insurance, so she was still having to pay some out-of-pocket cost. It looks like she says, imagine how my insurance company was to cover that, how happy my insurance company was to cover that. My doctors ordered MRIs because the headaches were getting debilitating, and I lived under the migraine cloud. So remember that migraine cloud I referenced. Never sure when I would experience one. Like most migraine sufferers, I carried rescue meds everywhere. So she would even run. She says, even running. I also searched obsessively for triggers: too much sleep, too little sleep, chocolate, caffeine, too much running, not enough running, and on and on. So these are people that care about their health. They're trying very, very hard to find a solution, preferably a natural solution, willing to take meds just because the pain is so debilitating. And she says, then this past year, I had 3 of the worst headaches ever that culminated in an ER visit. That Frovatriptan wasn't working anymore, and I was taking it like candy, expensive candy. My doctor recommended visiting Novera. The difference after being treated by Dr. Taves was nothing short of miraculous. I went from 2 to 3 migraines per week to 0, and counting for the past 3 weeks, all in the space of less than 2 months. I'm not living under the migraine cloud anymore. I'm not looking for triggers. I'm just out living my life with joy. So this patient and Kayla, I have followed up with them. They have checked back in with me, and they are still doing well. And this is, I believe, over a year ago for each of these patients. So they wrote these testimonies shortly after we finished up with treatment. But a few things that stand out about this patient's story is the migraine cloud that she referenced, and having that lifted, having that freed, feeling freed from that. Another patient, let's see here. This is someone that I have gotten to know very well. His name is John, and he came to me. He says, I've been in multiple car accidents, none my fault. Last one happened over a year ago, and I was not able to sleep on a pillow at night without getting a ripping migraine the next morning. So a lot of patients come about to see me from car accidents in their past or more recently that lead to this sort of neck dysfunction that trigger headaches or migraines. I couldn't shoulder check while driving without turning my whole body. So that's like checking his blind spot, backing out of his driveway without turning his whole body. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that. He says, and then vertigo started, so he was getting dizzy. So bad, I physically thought I was upside down while hanging on the fridge door. I was sick and didn't know where to go for help. Migraine medicine barely worked, and I was living in a migraine fog, too scared to hold my newborn boy on these bad days, which were frequent. So again, he's talking about this migraine fog. And these bad days were bad enough where he couldn't even hold his newborn child. I was desperate to find help, but didn't know where to find it. I had been to so many physical therapists and wasn't finding relief. I could barely run my business. My wife told me about Novera, and I called. The results were almost immediate. In less than 3 months, I have my life back. I can focus, sleep on a pillow, shoulder check, hold my baby and kids. I even started working out at a gym. I'm ecstatic and can't express enough gratitude for Dr. Taves for helping me get my life back. It's life transforming. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So this is a car accident situation, multiple car accidents, where the patient was so debilitated. He came to me the first visit, and he was so dizzy. He could hardly focus in our conversation, and now he is back in business. He's doing well amidst a pandemic, and it's been truly exciting to see him improve. All right, let's go to Christine. So Christine says that my healing story with Novera. Once upon a time, not long ago, I loved to ride and race mountain bikes. And with that comes tumbles and falls, many times head first. But with all that fun comes injury to the spine. What I didn't know was that years later I would develop migraines, and they would rule my life and debilitate me for days on end. I adopted holistic approaches to ease my pain, eating healthy, taking natural supplements, and using CBD and turmeric. Using traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and yoga. All great healing modalities, but the headaches were still there. So you see the long list of things that she's tried, so she cares about her health. And Christine does very much care about her health, and she did a great job of checking all those boxes, reducing triggers. She says, until I found Dr. Jono, his magical therapy rehabilitated me and the C1, C2 areas of my spine. After several weeks of treatment, my headaches subsided and the frequency of them reduced. After about 6 weeks of treatment, my migraines disappeared. I visit occasionally to have follow-up treatments. I've done a number on my neck, and I still have some issues. Was recently in a car accident. She says that in brackets there. So I return to readjust, but I leave feeling looser, tighter, and pain-free. And then she says, my gratitude for Dr. Taves and his staff for helping me get back on track to my next endeavor of crystal hunting expedition. So this is kind of fun when we get to celebrate the things that people are jumping back into. So Christine is very much into the holistic approaches, and so she wanted to get into crystal hunting and removing her migraines and helping her reduce that debilitating pain freed her up to do that. So that's that empowerment. I want to empower people to live their life, to do the things that they want to do, and not let migraines get in the way. All right, here's another patient. She does not write her name in here, but she says, you know that feeling, nausea, dizzy, blinding pain, brain fog. There it is again, the migraine fog. I had finally had enough. After 10 plus years of dealing with migraines, I needed a solution that didn't require meds and could get me back to living life. She says, my name is Adrian. There it is. I'm 38 years old, Colorado native with a cool husband and 2 teenage boys. I teach high school English and enjoy doing anything outdoors. My migraines started to become frequent, 3 to 4 times a week. I would have to miss work, lay in bed all day with an ice pack, and pray it would be gone by morning. I was missing out on life, time with family, friends, and missed being active. I called my doctor and told her I was finished trying medications. I had tried 3 before with awful side effects. So she told me about Dr. Taves, and I was able to see him the next day. Even after the first appointment, I felt relief. Now, 2 months later, I'm living my best life. I've had 2 migraines, only 2. I have more energy and have more positive outlook on life. I feel like I have control again. I am more active now. I've lost 10 pounds this summer. Dr. Taves gave me my life back. So, when my kids ask me each morning if I can be with them, I can say yes. I can put the ice packs and dark rooms behind me and move forward with each day. I love that she included, when my kids ask me each morning if I can be with them, I can say yes. I don't know how many of you are moms out there that are listening to this or that suffer with headaches and migraines, but one of the most exciting things I have the opportunity to do is help people be with their family, allow them to wake up in the morning and not feel like they might have to disappoint their son or daughter by not being able to pick them up, as John wasn't able to with his newborn, or not be able to go to their tennis or soccer game, whatever that may be. And nowadays, maybe not be able to help them with their online schooling or whatever their virtual learning looks like. And those moments with their kids, I have a 1-year-old, and it seems like time just has flown by. Those moments with your kids, we need to cherish them, and we need to address the migraine or headache issue as soon as possible, because you don't know when the next moment is going to be missed. And so Adrian's story does, it's something that I remind myself of because it encourages me to continue this work, but I hope it also encourages you listening to this podcast or watching on YouTube. And what I would encourage you guys to do is, one, if any of these stories resonate with you, and you have been living in the migraine fog, if you've been missing out on things of life, give us a call. Even if you're out of state, we would love to help you in any way we can. We can set you up with a one-on-one conversation and even a virtual evaluation treatment process with me. But if you're in town or able to get into the clinic, then I would say give us a call or book online at noveraheadachecenter.com, and we'd love to be a part of your story. Now, let's say that you are listening to this podcast, you're a friend of mine, someone who's connected to the clinic, maybe you know someone that's interacted with us, I would encourage you to continue to listen and share this story with someone who maybe the stories that I read, it resonates with them, or you know someone like John or like Adrian or like Kayla who is in that migraine fog and is wanting to get off of medication. So thank you for listening. Stay tuned every week through this holiday season, and into next year we'll be continuing to provide you guys with valuable information. Again, I'm Dr. Taves, and I'm here to empower everyone with headaches and migraines to break free from a life of fear and dependence and thrive in everything they do.